Hello and welcome to the show where I talk about the things I think, and people sometimes don't like the things I think because it's not what they think. What do you think? So I've been playing Valorant a bit, and I like it. A bit. I've never been super into tactical shooters, so you'll have to bear with some of my opinions, I guess. I was briefly into Counter-Strike, and I was briefly really into Rainbow Six Siege, but, tactical one-and-done shooters have never been my forte, so take that in mind going forward, but I like Valorant. I like it quite a bit. I have issues with it, because I have issues with every game, and that's what this series is for. So if you want a positive review of Valorant where it completely converts me to liking tactical shooters, you can go away. This is not what this video is. This video is like all the other videos in this series where I deliberately focus on the things I don't like about games that are otherwise perfectly fine. So this is everything about Valorant that annoys me. Let's get the big one out of the way first, and this is where you're probably gonna dislike the video and walk away. I don't like the shooting. I never liked the shooting in Counter-Strike, and I don't like the shooting here.
A plague on both your houses!
It's too much wine!
They've made worms meat of me.
I understand if that makes me some class traitor to PC gaming, but I think the Valorant's shooting is definitely more forgiving than CS, and it's easier to get into, easier to understand, but there's still just fundamental mechanics that I just can't wrap my head around. And honestly, I would be fine with this if there were just more ways for you to get the hang of all the guns. Right now, all there is a shooting range, which is nice, thank you, Riot. But I think my annoyances with the shooting mainly come from the fact that there's very little that you can do about actually getting better other than playing the game online, which is that anyone can tell you is not going to be the most effective way of getting the mechanics down because it's not a controlled environment. The private matches don't have that many options in this game, and there's no deathmatch mode or casual deathmatch or casual whatever modes in this game, so it's hard to actually be able to put yourself in a situation where you're actually getting the hang of the guns. I don't think the shooting range is good enough, because you need moving targets that are unpredictable, people that are going to actually respond to what you're doing. That's why Deathmatch in Counter-Strike was so perfect. I don't like the shooting, but that doesn't mean I think it's bad. I understand there's a place for it, and I understand that people like it. But for me, someone who doesn't really like that style of Counter-Strike shooting with the weird recoil and inaccurate reticles, it feels like the game is punishing me for not knowing exactly how to do these kinds of things, when it's not helping me at all understand how to do these kinds of things, whereas Counter-Strike did. I think more options need to be added to private matches. I think bots need to be added to private matches. I think 100% there needs to be a deathmatch mode, so people can really get the hang of the guns and the movement with the guns and the recoil with the guns. There's just a lot of mechanics here that the game doesn't really help you understand, is my problem. And you can tell me that's part of the learning curve all you want. I don't really care. There's a difference between a water slide and jumping off a roof into a pool. So, moving into the actual gameplay. I like the gameplay of Valorant. I like the character aspect. I like the ability aspect. I mean, like I said, I'm not a huge tactical shooter guy, but I'm really into Overwatch. And I put a lot of time into Siege and a decent amount of time into Counter-Strike. It all comes together in a way that I really like. But I do have issues, and I think my issues are a lot of the same issues that most people have. Flashbangs and flash effects and whatever you want to call them here, super flash stun abilities, they activate way too quickly, and they last way too long. In Counter-Strike, you can see a flashbang coming, and you can do something about it. Valorant, you can do something about a flashbang, but the window for actually doing something to prevent it is extremely small, and I think that needs to be adjusted. Especially because certain characters can see you through the flashbang, like Reyna. Reyna is Reyna. I'll talk about Reyna a little later. But I think something needs to be done about flashbangs. Maybe the flash projectile that's thrown out travels a little slower, or maybe the flash effect is inactive for another extra split second so you can actually react to it. I think it activates too quickly right now and it lasts too long. One of those things needs to change, because right now they just feel cheap. The hit reg seems inconsistent at times. I know I'm not the only one who's been playing Valorant and has had plenty of instances where it seems like I'm shooting someone 5-6 times, but then in the death recap it says I only hit them 2 or 3 times. even though all my shots were on them, all the bullets were coming out, the blood splash was going on, but it seems like some of the shots weren't hitting. And I think this kind of goes back to maybe I'm just not used to the gunplay, but I'm also extremely suspicious of hit reg bugs, because it seems like there are plenty of instances that everyone who's played this game can point to where it seems someone was just soaking up bullets. And I don't know if that's server side, I don't know if that's game side, but something about the combat in this game just feels a little inconsistent. It's not as bad as other games, and it's definitely not bad hit reg. It seems to come in waves, and that's why I'm trying to tread a little lightly here. So I have a notepad on my computer of the things I want to talk about, and for this part I just wrote, Reyna is fucking stupid, fucking delete her, fuck. Yep. Reyna is a completely broken character. I don't care if you dislike the video. She needs to be nerfed. She is completely overpowered right now. As it stands right now, Reyna can heal herself faster than the medic. Reyna can overheal herself. The medic cannot even do that. Reyna can become invincible for a time. Reyna is the best flanker in the game. She's the best healer in the game. She's the best hybrid in the game. I know there's plenty of people out there who are just going to dismiss what I'm saying because, oh, you don't like tactical shooters, so you don't know anything about game balance. Look, I've been playing character games for over a decade. I came from fighting games. I've been playing Overwatch. I know what I'm talking about with character balance in these kinds of games. Reyna fills way too many roles, and that is the problem. She fills the role of a good flanker. She fills the role of a good medic. She fills the role of a good bullet sponge because of the way that her abilities work. She's good at area control because she can just hold areas down all by herself. Sure, she doesn't have crowd control abilities, but she can stay alive forever and just hold a whole spot down by herself. She does way too much. She fills too many roles, and she needs to be adjusted. Now, how to adjust her? I think her overhealing should be removed. I think there is absolutely no reason that Reyna should be able to overheal, but the medic character cannot. That makes absolutely no sense. And I think her healing needs to be slowed down dramatically. Again, why is Reyna's healing way faster than the medic's healing? Sage can't heal that quickly. Sage's heals do not come that often, and Sage cannot overheal. If you can't tell, I am a Sage main, and this shit fucking bothers me. I think the distance in which Reyna can grab her orbs after killing someone needs to be adjusted. She shouldn't be able to just suck them up from 20 yards away. She should have to actually go over to them and grab them. Maybe 5 feet away, 4 feet away, she can take the orb. There's no reason she should be able to hit someone from across the yard and suck it up from over there and then go straight into fighting somebody else. Also, her self-healing needs to be slower than Jade's healing orb. There is just no reason that her healing should be faster than a dedicated healing character. And as for her stupid smoke ability that she can see through, yeah, no, fuck that ability. Honestly, straight up fuck that ability. When you're hit by Reyna's stun smoke thing, I would say there's about a 3-4 yard radius around you that you can't see out of. That needs to be increased to about 6 yards. What makes it so broken right now is the fact that Reyna can throw that out. You can look around for her and you can't see her, but Reyna can see where you are. Your visibility while affected by Reyna's stun needs to be greatly increased. I don't know how big it is right now, but if it's around 3 yards right now, it needs to be at least 5, if you know what I'm saying. I don't care what the exact measurement is right now. It needs to be bigger. Reyna's kit just works way too well, and it fills too many roles. In a tactical shooter like this, there's supposed to be a lot of different ways that you can do things, a lot of different ways you can accomplish objectives, a lot of different ways you can approach situations. But the way that Reyna is right now, it makes the game repetitive, it makes the game boring, and it makes the game not very fun because of the lack of real counters to her. And speaking of characters, I think Reyna is the only one who immediately needs adjustment, but overall I think there could be a little bit of rebalancing done. Maybe it's just because it's early in the game's life right now, but it seems like there's only a handful of characters that people actually play. Every game of Valorant has 5 characters out of pretty much the same pool of 7. There's a handful of characters you just never see, and that's fine, every game is going to be like that, but the roster is really small right now. And when there's 5 people to a team and a pretty small roster of characters, there really shouldn't be anybody that's unviable. There's 11 characters in the game right now. You only really ever see 7 of them. And that's not a huge problem because I'd rather things be underpowered than overpowered. And like I said, I think Reyna is the only one who immediately needs adjusting. But once you figure that one out, can we maybe do a little bit of rebalancing at the bottom tier. And the last thing on my list is the SR system, or whatever you want to call it. Whatever the ranking system that's going on right now in public matches that you can't actually see, because that's just a thing that happens now in games, I guess. There's just ranking systems and SR systems that you can't actually see for yourself. It fucking sucks. If I'm playing by myself, I know exactly how it's gonna go. It's going to alternate by match. One match will be a whole bunch of solo queuers, maybe 1 or 2 duo queuers, and we're all going to be pretty even. Then, the match after that, I'm going to be going up a full stack of super sweats who are just going to destroy us. It's going to be like 13-5, 13-6. And then the game after that, it's going to go back to an actual close game. Then the game after that, it's going to be a blowout. I don't know what's going on with the SR system, but it is fucking terrible. I understand that there's no ranked mode yet as of the time of recording this, so they have to iron these things out. But like, if this is the SR system that's being used in ranked, I don't want to play ranked. Are you kidding me? I don't want to play ranked if this is the system being used. It's terrible. And that's part of the reason why everybody 5 stacks or 4 stacks. It's the easiest way to avoid situations like this. So that's everything about Valorant that annoys me. Again, I really like the game. In fact, I'm going to play the game some more while this video is rendering. I really like it. It has a lot of potential, and compared to other tactical shooters, I like this one a lot more. And a lot of the things that I talked about in this video were things that I just don't like. They're not things I think are objectively bad. There are things I think are objectively bad, like Reyna. If you play Reyna, stop, please. But I think the game is good. And I'm excited to see where the game goes. So let me know what you think about Valorant. Check out my Twitter, my Twitch, my music channel, all the links in the description. And I'll see you guys later.